Hello, this is Swanö, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Crimson. It was recorded at the end of '95 and the beginning of '96, and now re-released by Century Media in 2025, and also remixed, which is super nice to be able to dig into that album again. And I must say it's a little bit, I was thinking back and forth to what do I say about Crimson? It's only one song, you know, and it was a very special occasion, and it was one of the times, I think honestly one of the only times, if not the only time, when we all wrote together in the room, and we didn't really have that much going on to say, oh, let's put these 50 parts together. I had one riff that I felt didn't get the attention it deserved on the Breathing Shadow album from Nightingale. It was, I think, in the last track on the album, An Eye for an Eye. There is just a riff that appears one time, and that's that. And I thought, that riff is so cool, and it's got that kind of vibe on this Nightingale tuning. So what happened was that I took the Nightingale tuning with me to the Crimson session, and I said, okay, you guys, Anders will play bass in D together with me on my tuning, which is D-A-D-A-D-E, and the other guitar players will do a drop down from what we used to, and I think the whole guitar was tuned in A, not any dropping, just pure A. And we bought extremely heavy strings for the time. I think they were 72 for the thickest string, and if I don't remember wrong, I think all but one string was actually wound strings, which made them extremely hard to play, but restricted the guys in a little bit, but the sustain was endless, and they were tuning extremely well for being so low in this super baritone mode. And we all, except Benny was locked away in the drum room, and we had a connection only through talking from a microphone to the headphones. But then we just started writing. And I said, okay, let's start it with vocals. It was a cool idea, but we counted in. And then came this riff that was originally something we did with Nightingale, or I did with Nightingale, I should say. And after that, we just kept going and going, and then we stopped. And then we was, okay, what could come here? And I was more than influenced by Opeth, I must admit, by the Orchid album. I was so blown away that I barely knew my own name, and I wanted to do something that was quite similar in the structure, but it should be one song. And then I just started playing something with a more of a clean sound on my special tuning on the guitar. And you know, what you hear on the album is pretty much what I wrote there on the spot, at least during the writing sessions. You know, we didn't actually write and record it. We wrote it first in 24 hours, and then the guys went home and they came back, and then we recorded it in 24 hours, the basic parts. The vocals and the mixing took way more time, I can tell. And yeah, we all sat down there, and whoever came up with an idea. And the thing about Crimson is that at least half of it is written chronologically. So we did have no click track, nothing like this, except for a few parts where I would overdub stuff. Then I started a drum machine with some, whatever tempo we were at, I would start it, you know. And I would say that we came to a part, we were a couple of minutes in, and I was dead set on making it something completely different, maybe no real death metal elements, no fast parts, you know, more of an ethereal, vibey kind of metal prog thing. But after I had my thing going on there for a while, I remember, I think it was Andreas who told me, when are we gonna stop with this Pink Floyd stuff and start playing some death metal? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I thought we could go on like this forever, you know? No. This is boring. Let's play fast. And then I thought, oh, cool. Like, yeah, let's completely not do this what I thought we were doing. And then, yeah, we wrote the first fast riff and played that for a while and just kept dragging. And then we say, oh, let's make an abrupt tempo change down to the next bit. And then we went forth and forth. And it was very much that kind of collaboration, and I am not really a big collaboration fan when it comes to writing. I think it's all personal. But we were having such a good vibe going, and we were all so thankful that we did not have to write 10 choruses, 10 cool intros, 10 cool verses, find 10 cool titles. We just had that one piece, and anything goes. You could go from a blast beat part with black metal vocals and straight into a doom part with the deepest vocals ever, and just be extremely adventurous, and all within the context that everything kind of works. You know, it was we were exploring all kinds of stuff that we had been dabbling with before, with the gothic rock and the doom and the almost black metal vibes and the traditional death metal, and also some heavy metal, even I would say some prog metal moments in there, and some, I remember one riff was the Slayer riff, another one was the Black Sabbath riff, and it's probably the Edge of Sanity album I enjoyed making the most, at least until me and Andreas had to sweat it out for a long time to write the lyrics, under some pretty extreme time pressure, and all the time following the syllables that I had decided this is how we sing it here because it's catchy. But if I was singing la 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 le, we just had to find something meaningful that kept the story going, that had the same rhythm, which was extremely complicated. And I actually think we spent the same time or even more time writing the lyrics than we did writing the music, which is a little bit strange. But yeah, we were only two guys, and I think we were hungover from some release party we went to or something. Yeah, and then all the guys went home, and I spent a long time mixing the album and tweaking my parts, doing some of the keyboard overdubs, and yeah, and then it was ready. This one-track album that was something people talked about even before it was recorded and written, and it did pretty well actually. It sold pretty well. Black Mark was doing well at the time, so it got widespread, and yeah, it's for some the ultimate Edge of Sanity album. And I think, to me, it's one of the cooler moments. It never feels like 40 minutes when I listen to it from the beginning to the end, which is always a good thing. And there's not too much pause repeating, and all the transitions feel like they deserve to be there. And then, of course, you have the cool part in the middle with only vocals, which is my own personal tribute to Queen's The Prophet song. One of many little tributes on this album, a little nod to a lot of my favorite bands at the time. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the remastering, and I also hope you enjoy the remix that I find is extremely good.